Common sense isn't gone. It just needs a comeback. Common Sense Superheroes with David and Greg.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to another Common Sense Sports Shorts with David and Greg. I'm David, and as I am sitting here furiously getting ready for the ice storm that has overtaken the East Coast, the whole of Georgia, especially North Georgia, is freaking out. Can't find bread. You can't find milk. It's tough on me now. I can only imagine it's tough on Greg. Greg, you getting ready for the ice storm?
David, I have just had to update my schedule because thankfully my wife, who is my travel bookie as well, we've had to readjust our flight and fly to Vegas a day early. So
Listen
I am
to
about
this.
to start looking to get on a plane and fly out to Vegas tomorrow morning to celebrate all of us couples. We all have our kind of couple best friends. Shout out Brian and Kelly. This is Kelly's birthday. We're flying to Vegas to show Vegas how we celebrate a Southern princess. Love you, Kelly. Can't wait to get out there, throw down for your birthday, and have an absolute good time.
As you are buying up bread that nobody wants because all the good shit's taken, and you're down to the crappy milk, or either crappy milk or the $9 a gallon milk, think about Greg and his hardships of having to get ready early to go to Vegas out in Viva Las Vegas. That, I hope you know, you pissed off most of our listening audience, the fact that they're sitting there getting ready for the cold.
Well, we'll hopefully, if anybody can forgive me for enjoying myself when some of you may be facing a little adversity here back home. Planning later on in the show, I'm gonna share a couple of leans and maybe even an actual wager that I'll be on while I'm out there. And so, hey, maybe we can commiserate together, or maybe we can celebrate a victory together while I'm a few hours flight out of the way.
Well, we are going to get into the conference championships coming up, and Greg's got some picks. And like I said before, if you've been betting along with Greg, you've made nothing but money right now. There's been zero wrong. And I don't want to brag. I was right, even though mine were a lot more simple bets. So we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about the Hall of Fame. There's some big news around Georgia with the Baseball Hall of Fame this year. But while you're in Vegas, what is there anything on the itinerary? We're going to the Spear. We're just betting. What?
Hey, I believe we kind of got drug into this at the last minute. So there's a lot of things on the itinerary, and lo and behold, through the grace of the good Lord, I think I have avoided almost all of them. So I'm pretty much free the entire time while they're doing spa trips and concerts and all this other kind of stuff. And I will never be alone, but I will always have one person with me that's free to just go do whatever we want to do while everybody else is booked.
Now, what concerts they going to? How you gonna miss a concert? It sounds like it'd be awesome.
I think there's a Michael Jackson show involved in there. That'd be right up your alley.
Come on now.
Yeah, that's I don't remember what
the
else.
Kids getting free there? I know that's a bad joke. Don't say that. That's right.
I am as far removed
Kids
from
under
the
12
planning
free.
and itinerary creation on any trip we go on. I'm the guy that says just you tell me where to be and when to be there, and that's how I roll.
So I like it. I think Zach Brown band is playing at the Spear out there. I'd really like to go to that.
Oh, he is on my bucket list of concerts I have not attended that would like to go to.
Shout out Rustin and Coy. But I would also, believe it or not, they did the damn Wizard of Oz at the Spear. And they had like a real damn tornado with leaves and shit. That would be
I believe
awesome.
that may be on the agenda too, now that you mentioned it. I believe there is I think there might actually be a birthday girl wearing a veritable princess outfit to the Wizard of Oz event thing. There's going to be some shenanigans.
Nice. Well, I don't know anything about Vegas. I'm not necessarily a Vegas guy. I know that I'd be out there looking for Tangier's Motel or Tangier's Casino. Shout out Casino. But anyways, back to sports, which is why we're here. Hall of Fame. It has taken forever. There's two names in Atlanta history that we've been feeling like has been getting robbed of not going into the Baseball Hall of Fame. We're still working on one, but the other day, the great number 25, Andruw Jones, finally got into the Hall of Fame. Oh. I found the sound effects button, everybody. Hope this is working too. Now, I don't know a single soul around Georgia that could be against Andruw Jones going into Hall of Fame. Do you, Greg?
Maybe.
That's what I'm I'll let you make your point, but
let me preface this by saying, and I'm going to share a short story of my personal relationship with the Braves that will inadvertently give a lot of you guys a little bit of insight into my psychology, and that could be frightening for some of you.
Show us on the doll where Chief Nakahoma touched you.
No doubt. I was a diehard Braves fan as a kid. I mean, I'm talking in Fulton County Stadium with 2,000 other people at best, cheering on Bob Horner and Glenn Hubbard and Dale Murphy and Claudel Washington and Pascual Perez. I was that kid.
I love it.
And then they got really good right about the time I went through puberty and kind of hit a rebellious phase. And I didn't like the fact that everybody became a Braves fan. And so I became anti-Braves for what amounted to the greatest 20-year stretch in franchise history. I missed all of it as a Braves fan.
Possibly baseball history. I mean, we wanted a few more World Series, but
during that stretch, while I was vehemently anti-Brave, Andruw Jones, Greg Maddux, and David Justice were the three players that I always kind of felt like, you know what, I like their game. They're fun to watch. Andruw Jones roamed center field like few others could.
No doubt.
But I'm sorry, I don't think he's Hall of Fame worthy. I don't think he's generational. I don't think you.
Where's the
I don't
boo
think you
button?
have to talk about Andruw Jones to tell the story of that time in baseball.
I wish I could find the boo button because I could not disagree with you more. If I could find the boo button, it'd be over.
That may get me more hatred.
That is ridiculous. I mean, even damn, yeah, exactly. That's not worse than what you said about Ice the other day. The people ain't even mad about that. They were mad about this. How can you possibly say that? Let me state my point. There's 3 center fielders in the history of the game that have 10 plus Golden Gloves. Golden Gloves, not globes. Andruw Jones is one of them. And the other 2 whose names are there, Ken Griffey Jr. and Willie Mays. That's it. That's the list. Enough said if you ask me. Listen, look at the names on that list.
And again, Andruw Jones is an example, and I could name off of 15 or 20 over the last few years that I feel the same way about. I think like everything else in our society, I think we just started loosening up things too much and just trying to let everybody in everything. And again, I don't think when you're telling the story of baseball, I don't think Andruw Jones is that relevant of a person to be Hall of Fame.
Listen to the list I just said. Willie Mays, Ken Griffey Jr., Andruw Jones. That's it. That's the list. Center fielders with 10 plus Golden Gloves.
Well, as a caveat, I have no argument against the other 2. They are definite Hall of Famers.
Listen, if you at any point in your career where you're known as, if you name the best center fielders or best position of all time, if your name is 1 or 2 on nearly everyone's list, you're in the Hall of Fame. I'm sorry. No, look, even if it's the ball boy, if you're the top ball boy ever in the history, you deserve it in the Hall of Fame. That's all I'm saying.
Open and receptive to the argument. Your points are valid. I'm not saying the case is not there. I'm just saying when I put on my common sense, just does it feel like Andruw Jones just to me does not feel like a Hall of Famer. And he was one of the Braves I absolutely cheered for and loved and enjoyed watching him. But he just, I don't feel like in that generation, he was one of the top 20, 25 players over a 15 or 20-year stretch. I don't feel like he ever was at any point in that stretch.
Are you sure that you're not having revisionist history towards the end of his Braves career to where if you got 2 strikes on him, you know damn well that slider away, he's going to swing at it. He's going to hack at it. We forget. I mean, he has 434 home runs. Okay, you're like, okay, well, that's not 500, which is the magic number. Yes, 434 home runs in that era without any inkling of steroid use. Not one. No questions. Nobody's even thought about it during that time. Ozzie Smith, is he a Hall of Famer?
I think he is.
His offensive numbers are crap compared to Andruw Jones.
Ozzie was
crap's a bit much, but
stretch, Ozzie was, and again, I am strictly appealing to the word fame. Ozzie is more famous on a different level to me than Andruw Jones.
Well, if Andruw had ran out there and did a backflip at the beginning of the season, would we have been more
I mean,
happy?
look, revisionist history, he didn't do it.
Listen, he played so short in center field, and rarely did you see it get over his head. Rarely. He made
Again,
as soon as you got up there, you thinking, okay, well, I'm gonna hit it to center, and that messed you up. I mean, there's no better center fielder that I've ever seen play for the longevity that he played. Ken Griffey Jr. is the end all be all for me, but he didn't have a very long career where he was the top defensive guy because when he broke his wrist climbing into that wall. But on a day in, day out level, maybe it was because he was a Brave and I was able to see it more and more. Andruw Jones is it. One of the best fielders I've ever seen.
all right,
Everybody wanted to be him.
I'm gonna drop another controversial grenade on you, David. I think part of it is because I've become so jaded. The game of baseball has evolved so much athletically since he retired. There are 3 to 5 center fielders today that are capable of covering ground just like he did.
Not in this.
In his generation, he was special, but he's not fame worthy.
He was a little chubby, so you don't think he's as athletic, but name the amount of balls that got over his head. Hardly any. Hardly any. You got a couple center fielders now that don't who plays center? What did Trout play center? Not very long. He keeps getting hurt.
Play much anything.
Nobody's able to do it as long as he's been able to do it. Byron Buxton, he's center fielder, ain't he? He's up there.
But there again, I don't look at fame being he hung around long enough to attain a few Gold Gloves extra, hit a few extra home runs. I just look at, in every generation there are generational identifying players, and I don't think he was an identifiable player in his generation. I don't think you weren't a Braves fan, and you got to think about it from that perspective. You watched every game Andruw Jones played for his entire career.
Yes.
You saw every play he made. And again, he was fun to watch. I loved watching. He made center field look easy and made it look cool. But he's not a Hall of Famer.
I get you don't want it to be you want it to be the Hall of Fame, not of the Hall of Very Good. I understand that.
I mean,
but you have the likes of Carlos Beltran. Nobody's talking about him.
I wouldn't have put him in.
He had a couple series there. Now, granted,
that's fair, but again, I don't think it should just be a postseason go. Is Jorge Soler going to be there?
I'll admit, no.
Eddie Rosario
should be there. What he did against. No, I agree with that. If we count that, then yes. But I don't know, man. I admittedly am nostalgic about all the Braves and things like that. Hell, if you came to me and said Rafael Belliard, I'm like, maybe. But there's no damn chance. Jeff Blauser should not be even close to the Hall of Fame. But if you ask me with my heart, sometimes I think with my heart, and that's gonna.
I mean, he had a couple of years where he was the best offensive shortstop in the game.
He was a beast. I loved him. Are you talking about Blauser or Belliard? Blauser. I love Belliard. How dare you, sir? But he may have like 2 home runs for his whole career, but still, that's beside the point.
I think he was throughout the league even like renowned for his crafty ability to bunt. I think that was something he was known for.
Yes, he was. And that's not what you want to be known for, but shortstop has changed. Back in the day, you didn't have to, like we said, Ozzie Smith, 28 career home runs? And he is the no question Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
But as is Andruw Jones, damn it. But we won't even get into Dale Murphy, but
we won't talk politics today, but in this case, the votes are on your side, and I gotta go with it. I don't
think
any mail-in ballots or any sort of fraud in this election. I think he got the votes, and so he is a Hall of Famer by definition now, and I'm not going to argue it.
I'll say this: I did see something where Ken Griffey Jr. was talking to Andruw Jones, and he said, we were all getting together, all the old guys in the hall or whatever, and they, without question, said that Andruw Jones was the best center fielder they've ever seen. So it's one thing for, pretty good fielder myself back in the day, back before I had Achilles and hamstring tears. It's one thing for me to say it. It's another thing for damn Ken Griffey Jr. to say it. I think he deserves it. Some numbers could be higher. I agree. His batting average is not what you want it to be. He doesn't have, 2,500 plus hits. I think he's only got, less than 2,000 hits. But he played a lot less than I was looking at him and Carlos Beltran. Carlos Beltran's got like 2,000 more at bats than he does. You give Andruw Jones 2,000 more at bats, you're gonna get 50 or 60 more home runs at least. I think.
Well, look,
Maybe
we
60
can
is a bit
put
much,
it to bed, David. He's in the Hall of Fame. I love Andruw. I'm not trying to slight the guy. I'm just giving my opinion. But as a diehard Braves fan now, and as a longtime Andruw Jones fan, congratulations, Andruw. We're happy for you, man. And I will salute your jersey every time I'm in Truist Park and celebrate your Hall of Fame status.
Well deserved, Mr. Andruw Jones. I'm happy for him. And like I said, I think with my heart a lot of times when it comes to things like that. And I think nostalgic and with my heart. And it's going to hurt me tonight because I got a draft for my recreation team. And I think with my heart a lot in that too. And I'm like, damn, he's such a nice kid. But and then you get him out there and they don't even know what damn hand they're. I'm like, how you 12 years old? You don't know if you throw left or right. So I got to be better about just the facts, ma'am, as Joe Friday would say. But Andruw Jones, congratulations. But that isn't the big news this weekend. Well, that is the big news around here. But the big story is going to be Greg as he goes to Viva Las Vegas and probably places a wager too.
I am about to commence digging through the couch cushions to see what sort of loose change I can come up with to see if maybe I can't scrape together enough to win myself a cup of coffee out there.
More bright light city gonna set my soul. Sorry, I'm gonna try to stop singing that song, but damn it, Elvis. So this weekend, the NFL playoffs conference championships take place. And we got first up, we got the Broncos, who is the number 1 in that league, are going against the number 2 Patriots at 3:00 in Denver on CBS and Paramount Plus, baby. I love Paramount Plus. You play Paramount Plus, guys?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. I have, you're going to have to help me with this. New England minus 4.5. That means they're favored by 4.5 points.
Very well.
Is that the case?
That is correct.
Okay. So you tell me what we should take in that game. You got any picks, locks?
The line has bounced around. It's a little bit odd. From what I'm seeing in the reports, it looks like most of the money is coming in favoring the Patriots. But the line that started at, I think, New England -6, which was maybe an overcorrection from Bo Nix getting hurt and having to go with the backup Jarrett Stidham. They're both Auburn guys. I don't know that there's any real difference between the two of them. I think the original overreaction was why the line got bumped down where it sits at 4.5 now. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think the Patriots probably get out of there with a win. But if I'm taking the points, I give me the 4.5 with Denver and that defense at home. Again, the drop off from Bo Nix to Jarrett Stidham may not be a drop off at all. Neither one of them probably passed the Wonderlic coming out of Auburn. So I don't think it's that Denver defense, a whole New England in check. I see it being 21-19, somewhere in that neighborhood. Give me Denver in the 4.5 in that one. And lean to the under if you're betting the total.
Am I mistaken, or is Bo Nix? His dad was Patrick Nix, right? And
as far as the DNA test, yes.
And I remember watching him play at Auburn. Are we that damn old to where kids are not only just seeing their kids in college, but they're in the damn pros now?
David, you were mentioning the other day some of your friends who are the diehard recruit Knicks, and I'm one of those guys. I am now seeing kids coming up as high school recruits that I remember following their father as a high school recruit, and that with along having a daughter who's about to attend college this coming fall, and so I've spent a little more time on a college campus.
UGA, baby.
I am old. I am officially old, and there's no hiding it anymore.
I know. I feel it more and more every day, sadly. And it's not just my rackety legs that keep giving out on me, but just everything in general. There's a cool story. There's no weather advantage here. You got 2 basically cold weather teams. Neither one of them are going to be flustered by what goes on in Denver. I don't even know what the temperature is going to be, but I'm guessing cold if I had to go out on a limb.
Cold and dry, likely.
Yeah. And the Patriots, I got to give them props, man. It was Tom Brady leaving. So it was Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. That was the reason they were winning. And then Tom Brady left and went to the Buccaneers and won. So it was I guess it wasn't Bill Belichick. Then he left. And now it's was it Belichick and Brady, or is it just the winning culture that takes place in New England. Because
Yeah,
now it took them to start it with.
what if at the end of the day it's Robert Kraft?
You gotta give him props.
I
I
mean,
mean,
you touched
he's
on, as a Falcons and Hawks homer that you are, at some point, a poorly run organization isn't the coach, the GM, or the players. It may go all the way to the ownership, and maybe Robert Kraft was the one keeping the whole thing in check for Belichick, Brady, and the whole crew.
I mean, I'm about to tell Arthur Blank to go find him some way to relax. Whatever it takes. If it's working for Robert Kraft, then go find
They're
you a
looking into
spa,
that
my
in
man.
Vegas.
No, but you got to give them props. Every time you think they're not in it, here they are. Boom. The culture there is just insane. And think about what they've been through with the Aaron Hernandez drama, and even towards the end with the Brady and Belichick. That was a dumpster fire at the end, with all because Brady wanted his guy Alex Guerrero, the trainer, to be there, and Belichick didn't. I'm like, if Tom Brady, whatever the hell he wanted, I'd be like, hey, bro, I don't care who you bring in. You can bring Giselle and her MMA instructor. I don't give a damn. Just stay here. If Brady can't stay at a place for all that time, I don't know who does.
I think hindsight being 2020, and obviously when you see some of the realities we deal with in high level sports these days, I think we should all just look back and appreciate the fact that two legendary alphas like Brady and Belichick could coexist as long as they did. And yeah, it got messy when they separated, but we've all been there. Like that's always going to be a messy breakup because nobody wants to take the short end of that stick because they were both alphas. They did it the way they did with very little distractions, very little hiccups along the way. I mean, again, from a pro football standpoint, I don't think I'll see anything like that again.
Little distractions, except for your tight end's an absolute murderer. But other than that, and the other one's just a doofus, but
I
good.
mean, these day
I'll
and
take
age,
the
it might have
doofus
just
over
been
the
a
murderer.
peaceful protest.
That's true. He was just, peaceful. Which, if he'd have
Hey,
came
can we
out as
pause
it,
this? I gotta go check the doorbell.
yeah, yeah, no worries. See if I can figure it out. You go ahead and go. I'll keep talking until we get back. Uh, these days, if Hernandez would have came out as LGBT, he probably would have been showered with applause. He didn't have to go murdering people. If you have not seen the special on Hernandez that they go behind the scenes and everything on FX, I recommend you do it. It's a damn good show. Phenomenal. I want to stop it, but last time I stopped it, Greg's audio went down. So I don't want to do that up. But if you're asking me who I would take, it'd be tough because I don't want to. I want to root for the Broncos just because that was a hell of a game and I enjoyed watching it. And maybe I just watched that Elway documentary, so it has me rooting for the Broncos. But Sean Payton, being with the Saints all those years, even though he's a damn good coach, Sean Payton, the damn good coach. But I have heard some things about some guys that used to work in the Falcon organization about how he's a major league dickhead. So it's hard to root for him. So I'm gonna have to take the Patriots, I believe. The story is just too good for New England. My buddy Sean White's probably rooting for him too, but I'm gonna go with New England, and that means that with the points, though, they'd have to win by more than 4.5 points. Is that correct?
New England would have to win the game by 5 in order to win the bet if you take New England minus 4.5.
Damn, I usually hate betting this way, but I'm gonna go New England. I don't think Stidham's gonna come in, start out strong, but I think something's gonna happen to where the Patriots should start to roll.
This is when we need to cue up some head banging music for our first head to head bash. You're going against me.
I know, that's true. I gotta keep working
I
on it.
think if I was playing that game, I think I'd take Denver plus the 4.5.
Probably a smart move, but I just something about New England, even though it's a away game. Don't I mean, you're gonna talk me out of it again. I'm easily persuaded. So let's move on. The other game at 6:30 that night is the Seattle Seahawks playing the number 1 ranked Seattle Seahawks, playing the number 5 Los Angeles Rams. It's so damn hard to get used to saying that. The Rams at 6:30 on Fox. From what I see here, they got it tight. Minus 2.5 for Seattle, so that means they're favored by 2.5. Is that correct?
That is correct.
I
What
don't know.
what you
What do you
think, Dave?
say? If you're looking at me, again, we go back to where I think with my damn heart, and I don't wanna do that, but my heart says Matthew Stafford. It just solidifies he's already a Hall of Famer. This solidifies his Hall of Fame if he goes on to another Super Bowl and gets a win. So I want to say the Rams, but this time I'm going against my heart. And I understand that the 49ers would beat the hell up, but that was an absolute shellacking that they
No
put
doubt.
on the 49ers. And you got them playing at home. Seattle's basically the 12th man. I mean, I'm going to take Seattle. I have to take the Seahawks. And
I
that's
like it.
shout out to Steve Largent, who I loved, one of my favorite receivers back in the day. Shout out to Largent. But yeah, Seattle.
Well, like you, man, I am, and again, I don't hide from it. The Stafford narrative, man. I mean, you talk about following recruiting. I followed that kid from a high school junior out in Dallas, Texas, to being the #1 overall recruit, already being talked about as the #1 overall NFL pick as a high school senior. Watching him in Athens, and a lot of folks say he didn't live up to the hype and all that, but you could see the talent the kid had. It's one of those once in a generation arms. The ball just comes out of his hand completely different. And to see him survive that long of a stint in Detroit and not have to pull a Barry Sanders and just retire, and to come full circle, win a Super Bowl with the Rams, and to at this stage in his life be playing as good of football as he's playing. Man, as a Georgia alumni, as a Stafford guy, couldn't be happier and couldn't enjoy watching it more. I will be pulling for the Rams to pull off the upset,
But
but my money's going to be on Seattle -2.5. I think
yeah.
there will be a few more points than they're projecting. I would lean to the over. So if you're looking for leans every different way, I lean towards Denver plus the 4.5. I lean towards the under to 42.5 in that one. But I think on the in the Seattle game, I lean to the over 46.5. And my play that I'm guaranteed to have at least $14-15 on when we get out there in Vegas. I'm going to put some money on Seattle -2.5. And I think the 12th man and that running game of Seattle, I just don't think Stafford's going to be able to will it done. And I think the injuries are just going to be a little too much for the Rams. Blake Corum is out now, or the backup's actually one of them's out, and it's hard to bet against Seattle at home. The only thing that scares me, and I will throw this caveat from a gambling perspective, and my fellow degenerates will understand what I'm talking about. When the book hangs that 2.5 in a situation like this, it almost makes you feel like they are begging you to take that one because they will not post a 3. And Lord knows if they posted a 3.5, everybody would be grabbing the Rams. So something about that 2.5 just makes me think it could be one of those where, the storybook ending, Matthew Stafford going on to the Super Bowl at this stage in his career. I can see it happening, but my model says play the Rams or play Seattle -2.5. That's what my head says. So that's what we're going to roll with.
As you will be finding out in the next 24 hours with your beautiful young wife, I keep bringing that up because I'm jealous, but not jealous, but you will be finding out here soon enough. Those big buildings and big casinos out in Vegas didn't get built on by people that don't know what the hell they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. So when
Well,
they throw a number out there, they know what they're doing.
here's the beauty of it, David. And you know me well enough to know I'm not BSing here. I make no pretenses about how smart I am or how good I am at this. I am no algorithmic genius. I'm not putting together elaborate models of prediction. I follow a lot of guys that know what the hell they're talking about. And I
So
kind
we
of go
just
back and forth
regurgitate
with that.
them.
I go, well, hey, a lot of the guys I look to are leaning this way. I kind of lean that way. So it's nobody has an original thought on anything anymore. It's all just a culmination of the information we can digest from throughout the world. So yeah, I'm by no means any sort of expert, and I am well aware that if I've been gambling for 25 years, I am not very much to the positive at all.
Well, as a guy who don't know what the hell he's doing, I probably do have an original idea, and that's why you should not follow me because I don't rarely know what the hell I'm talking about when it comes to this. But in this situation, like I said, the Broncos and Patriots, even though I chose the Patriots, they at least have a time change difference and things of that nature. This in this scenario, no time change. They're used to it. The ball all on the West Coast. I'm I'm taking Seattle too. It's hard to I don't know all the numbers, but it's hard to not take Seattle in this. So I'm going with Seattle. And Greg, you got a rundown of your picks so we can check, make sure you got them all right? If you want to gamble with Greg,
really locked in on right now is the Seattle -2.5. If I get a whiff of something I like out there, if I run up against the right wise guy and catch some inside information, I might throw another pick out on my TikTok or something over the weekend while I'm out there. But I plan on trying to avoid filming myself or having any of this caught on camera if at all possible. So it might be a quick, short TikTok video if I come across a pick I like, but that would be about it.
This would be the spot where I ask Greg what his TikTok handle is, and I'm almost certain he does not know.
Clue.
Exactly. The whole point is to be able to say, like, hey, come follow me. We got to know what it is. Having said that, I don't know my TikTok either. I'm not a big TikTok guy. I'm about to step it up. I'm about that. You know what? It's a sad scenario if I'm the tech guy. That tells you how little Greg really knows if I'm the damn tech guy. You are the golden voice. I'll give you that. So far, the feedback has been, my God, David sounds awful. I'm like, yes, I do. I'm sorry. I'm nasally. I barely can speak. She's used to it. She don't even want me to talk anymore, but that's a lot of the feedback.
Content of your mouth and the tone with which it comes out.
Thank goodness Greg does not know the technical part. Otherwise, he'd leave me hanging with his damn golden voice, and I'd be out here talking nasally into the Instagram stories. But that's it for today. Our sports shorts, common sense sports shorts, our second bonus episode. I enjoy doing these little sports clips. I like this.
So no doubt, this is a lot of fun. I don't know if anybody's listening to this or if we're just talking into the ether. But either way,
I don't
we'll keep doing it until it causes some sort of problem in my life.
I'm having fun with it. That's all I care about. And so we both have the Patriots, correct?
Patriots to win. I think the Broncos cover.
Broncos cover. So you got the Broncos if you're betting the line. Is that correct?
I would, if I was forced to play that one.
That's where we're head to head.
I would be on the Broncos +4.5 if I had to make a play.
Okay, so I got the Patriots. Seattle, we both agree Seattle's going to win. Probably by more than 3.5, by 2.5 easily, but definitely cover the 2.5.
I think the most likely scenario is, like I said, and where my money will be is Seattle -2.5. I think there's a better chance of Seattle losing the game outright than by winning by less than that. So I'm not concerned about, sometimes you might want to play the money line just to take the points completely out of the equation. I think if Seattle wins, I almost expect it and could see it being a comfortable win where, they're up by 10 and have the ball running the clock out, where it's not really any sort of last minute Stafford heroics. But I absolutely could see a scenario where Seattle's up by 3 and Stafford's marching down the field with 30 seconds left and everybody's hanging onto their nutsack.
Yeah, and their wallet for damn sure. And so that's the picks for the conference championships. And only one of us is correct about the Andruw Jones Hall of Fame deal. I'm just saying. AJ, baby, 25. Quick story real quick. We have a golf tournament a couple years back up here for the Buford sports alumni, or not alumni, but just raising money for the
Are you one of them rich folks that built that big old football stadium?
Well, that's just it. I was friends with one of those rich folks that got me a ticket. Actually, I think I ended up paying for it, but we got in to go play at Chateau Alon for the Buford tournament. And they always have like some celebrities in there because there's so many like local kids that
you were not the celebrity.
All playing. This time I was not the celebrity. Coming up soon, baby. Cherokee Bluff. I done moved to that. But anyways, they had Marcus Allen and Andruw Jones was there in one of the little groups or whatever playing. And we did it closest to the pin. And I noticed, I'd seen them out there earlier and I wanted to kind of go talk to them, but I don't know. It's kind of odd. I want to look like I'm supposed to be there, which I clearly was not, but I wanted to act like I was supposed to be there. So I was trying to play it cool. So we get to the closest to the pin, par 3. And I noticed that Andruw Jones was actually the closest one. It was like 1.5 feet, maybe something like that. It was very, very tight. And so we got back after we played, and you sitting there, you're waiting on the scores and all that, and they do a real raffle and all those things. And we're eating lunch. And I look up and I see Andruw Jones sitting up there talking to Marcus Allen. And I love Marcus Allen, but the whole time I was sitting there thinking, man, you banged OJ's wife. I was like, dude, you kind of started
he didn't
this.
Kill
right?
OJ's wife.
I'm like, you kind of started this. OJ got real pissed when you started banging his wife, dog. I'm not saying I blame him, but he's part of it. But anyways, and then I see Andruw Jones over there, and he was up there standing by the food, and I was like, "Here's my chance. I'm gonna go, congratulate him on winning the closest to the pin or whatever." So I go up, try to play cool and act like I was getting something to eat, and I was like, "Hey man, did you end up getting that closest to the pin or whatever?" And he went on, and he was like, "No, so can you believe somebody beat me?" And he was, how golfers do, talk about the shot, this and that and all that. We were sitting there talking, and I was just enthralled, and I was like, "Damn, that's Andruw Jones." Like, damn. So I'm sitting there, and he gets through talking, and then I kinda, you know, gazed off a little bit or not even thinking about it. I was just sitting there thinking, "Damn, it's Andruw Jones," and all the highlights were playing in my head, but he was done talking, and I was just sitting there looking at him, and he was looking at me like I'm gonna say something, and I was zoned out, and I was like, "Thank you," and then walked off. That's all I said. We was having a full-on conversation, and all I could come up with as I'm grabbing a damn hot dog is, "Thank you," and walked off.
Well, speaking of zoning off, and I think at some point you may have just put me in a position where later this afternoon I may just have a random aneurysm trying to figure out how in the hell you got me to mention the OJ murder, what we were supposed to talk about today. I did not have that on my bingo card, but
You
here we are.
never know where it's gonna go.
It'll be brought up for random reasons, I guess.
Marcus Allen, it's blame him.
God
But
bless you, man.
that's but that's it. That's the show, Greg. I appreciate it, buddy. Put your money with Greg, okay? Do not listen to me, but you put your money with Greg, you're bound to make some money. So when he gets back from Vegas, we're gonna get us another show and maybe get into a few more topics, politics, things of that nature. But that's it for Sports Shorts, Greg. I appreciate it, brother. Have fun in Vegas. Stay safe. And
Love y'all. Appreciate everybody listening. God bless, and happy birthday, Kelly.
Eat some good food. Happy birthday, Kelly. See ya.
Common sense isn't gone.